Hello, welcome back. On today's episode, I'm going to be doing a swatching and giving you a review of this beautiful palette from Melt Cosmetics called Smoke Sessions. Okay, that was kind of dorky. I have done that intro way too many times, so I am just going to keep on going with it. So anyway, let me give you the backstory behind this palette and my search for this palette. I live in this beautiful state of Texas. I've lived here since early 2000s. I completed school here. I have a job here, a home. Actually, I've had 2 houses built here. I love this state. However, I was raised in Wisconsin. So, as my t-shirt says, yes, I am a Green Bay Packers fan. So, nothing personal against any of the teams in Texas, but sorry guys, I am a Packers fan. So, with the fall season quickly approaching and football season approaching, it is time to get serious about my makeup for my team. This search for this palette started almost an entire year ago. Actually, it probably started longer than that, but I didn't think that it could be possible to find any makeup that would match these colors. In October, I joined a makeup subscription box called BoxyCharm, and then sometime in December, I discovered a Facebook group, and the one that I think I posted the question on was Boxy Babes. I asked, does anybody know of a forest green eyeshadow palette? It's hard to believe, but there really are not very many eyeshadow palettes out there in forest green. We've got oranges, we've got browns, we've got purples, we even have blue out now, plum purple, reds, everything, but there are not very many green eyeshadow palettes out there, probably just a handful at that. And they are not actually, in my opinion, the ones that I've seen have not been forest green, something that would match this right here. So, someone suggested to me Melt Cosmetics Smoke Session. At the time, I looked it up, I watched some other YouTube videos, and saw it on the Sephora website, and I was hooked. I was very interested in it. I went to buy it, and guess what? It wasn't available. I don't know if it was because it was out of stock, or they just weren't selling it at that time, or it was just sold out, but at the time, I had to go on to their waiting list. And I waited. And I waited. And I waited some more. Until finally, in July of 2019, I received an email saying that this palette was available. I will let you know that this palette is a little bit more pricey than other eyeshadow palettes that are out there. It is $42 at this time in August of 2019. Well, it was July 2019 when I got it, but it's now the very beginning of August, and it was $42. However, I think that this is a very good quality palette. Now, I'm going to let you know that if you think that this is a makeup tutorial and you got your eyeshadow brushes all laid out in front of you and you're ready to get some assistance, no, you came to the wrong channel. I am not a makeup artist, if you have not noticed already. I am not skilled in makeup application. Putting on makeup is very therapeutic to me. I think it looks a little, I think it looks nice. It's a little more bold than my usual taste and what I wear for makeup, but I mean, I do think it's nice, but this is not that kind of video. There are plenty other green eyeshadow tutorials out there. This is just a swatching and a general review, my opinions, because after all, my channel is called Makeup Hues and Views. Makeup Hues and Views. not makeup tutorials, not any of that. I'm going to give you my view, my opinion of the hues in this palette. Okay, so I'm going to be doing a swatching in just a moment. Now, I know a lot of YouTube or makeup influencers, social media influencers are not big fans of doing swatches on your arm. I understand partly why, because the skin on your arms is not as delicate, nor does it really match the pigmentation of your eyelids. Your eyelids are much thinner, they're much more delicate, and so it's not really a good reflection. The only other person I've seen who's done a swatching in a different manner is Wayne Goss. He is a makeup artist, I think, to the stars. He has his own YouTube channel. He is a makeup genius. He puts them on his forehead. I'm not that bold, nor am I that experienced. It's not like I can get away with doing that. I'm not there yet. So I'm gonna go ahead and do it on my arm, but I'm gonna go ahead and apply eyeshadow primer too. Somewhat, just to give it more of a realistic feel of putting on the eyeshadow, okay? I'm gonna put them all on this arm and just, we'll take it from there. But first, let me go ahead and show you the colors in here. I know when I was doing my research for smoke sessions for this particular palette, I wanted to see the colors. I didn't want any flashy lights, this, that, and the other, any screenshots. I wanted to see the palette. So let me go ahead and show that to you first. I've actually worn this a few days already because this is my third time filming this, and I've also practiced just using this. So yeah, there's that. But anyway, here, let me go ahead and zoom in on it. Okay, let's get this going here. Now, with this eyeshadow palette, first of all, let me say it again, it is called Smoke Sessions. You will notice that there is certain plant life showing on said Smoke Sessions palette. Again, I live in the state of Texas. I do not live in Washington State, Colorado, I think California, or Washington, D.C., and some other states. I live in the state of Texas. So, if you are someone sitting home saying, I wonder why they call it Smoke Sessions. Is it because it's a smoky eye? I'm not telling you. You got to look that up on the internet. You can go to Melt Cosmetics website, Smoke Sessions, or you can type in Smoke Sessions on YouTube and you'll see all kinds of illustrations. But again, I'm not going to get into that right now. I'm just going to give you these names. I'm going to show you this, and here we go. Okay. Give you a few seconds to take a look at those. Okay. One thing that I noticed when I look at this eyeshadow palette is, and I don't think you can see it as well here. Let me, if I bring it closer. Yeah, I think it's better that way there. This is not white. This is a very minty green. The closest I can say is it's a little bit lighter than the McDonald's Shamrock Shake, if that's a reference. That'll help you. It's probably as light as a toothpaste, but with more shimmer. So obviously, but what I'm going to do is also, you'll see that there is more of a blue undertone to these. I think this is a neutral eyeshadow palette because at first I thought, oh, these are cool and these are warm on this side, but I don't think that's the case. I think that there is blue and there's green in both of that, you know, and yellow and blue makes green. Okay, sorry, couldn't help it. Getting back to this, I think that this is neutral, these tones, and so, but if you're someone with a cool undertone and I'm incorrect, just, you know, let me know, put in my comments. Again, it's called Makeup Hues and Views, so let me know. But I notice on here it moves more from the, what could be considered more cool tones on over here, and then it moves over to the more yellow, gold colors. Okay, so let me go ahead and get started first I'm going to put on, I'm going to use 2 eyeshadow primers. Not for overkill, but I'm not really sure. I had a question on this one about this Urban Decay one. This is not the original Urban Decay, the Holy Grail eyeshadow potion. This is the anti-aging one. And I have never used any of the Urban Decay eyeshadow primers before, but it seems a little bit thin. I know as you age, your eyelids get thinner also, and so you don't want something too heavy, so that could be correct. I'm not sure. I also learned from some other videos that by using a concealer, that's a good way also to get a very good, to make your eyeshadow pop. And so I have the Juvia's Place I Am Magic Concealer. The color is, oh, I can't see it anymore. I've used this so many times now. I can't see at this moment, but anyway, you'll see in a minute. So let me go ahead. First, I'm going to go and put on the Urban Decay eyeshadow primer right quick. I'm going to use this arm. This right now I think is, it's, you know, a good darker tone. My eyelids are actually darker. I have some different pigmentation. This is lighter, and then this is darker here. So I think this is good reflection of it. So here I go. I'm going to go ahead and apply that on here. And it just seems really thin. So I don't know if I'm just almost out of it, but I don't remember using that much in the first place. So next time I think I'm just going to get the original. There we go. I'm going to do that. Apply some of that. And just to give a little bit more of a realistic take of this, but in my opinion, I will tell you, and you'll notice when I'm swatching, that this is a very pigmented eyeshadow palette. It is very creamy. People, if you have experience with eyeshadow, you know that generally shimmery eyeshadows are creamier and richer than the matte, and you'll see that in a moment. There are 2 mattes, 6 shimmer shades in here. Very, very nice shimmery too. It's really built into it. But, so let me go ahead and apply that, let that sit for a moment here, and then get going here so you guys can see what you came to see. So, ooh-wee, that's kind of deep there, but Juvia's Place, their I Am Magic collection is a very full coverage foundation, and their concealer is also very thick and rich and full coverage, and I like it as a eyeshadow primer. I really, really do. I like it a lot. So, I like it a lot. Okay, let me go ahead and rub that in here. Let it set for a moment. But even on my arm, you can see it definitely evened out more, because I started, I think I was lighter here or darker. But see, I think it gives more of an even base. But okay, so I'm going to wipe my fingers clean. Let's get started here. Okay, I'm going to try to resemble this as close as possible. Get that in there good for you guys to see. First color I'm starting with is Blue Dreams and Sweet Tooth. I'm going to do 2 at a time, so those first 2. It's really hard to pick up. It's not, again, it's not as white as it's showing on there. Trying to see if maybe if I block the light, but it's not as white. And you'll see when I do the swatch on my arm. Now, you do not need very much of these eyeshadows, even the matte ones. Okay, first take a look at them on my finger. This one is Blue Dream. This is Sweet Tooth. Nice green shades. Okay, here I go. Okay. Another thing I was going to mention, well, I'm going to mention it right now, is that with these shimmer eyeshadows, actually this whole palette, I think it's creamy enough. See how that all came off too? And it's not actually very hard to wash off too. Again, I've told you that I've worn it several times already. So here, I'm just gonna fill this in. Some people are like, but how thick and pigmented is it? It's pigmented enough, okay? You may not get it in one swipe, but you know, that's why you've got your brush, you got your finger, you can build it. Calm down. I suggest that you start light with this anyway and then build up, because it is pretty, in my opinion, very pigmented. But I forgot what I was gonna say. But you can see the difference already there. I really like this as a strong green palette. True green, not bluish green, a green palette. Okay. Let me move on. Got clean fingers again. And I'm going to do on here mean green. That one right there. That color, this color, mean green, when I saw this, this was what definitely for me was what closed the deal. I was like, I want this. So here I go. I'm gonna go ahead and just do that one first on its own. I did one swipe. Look at that nice green. Okay, I'm gonna put it right next to it. Here we go. Look at that. That's like an emerald green. I really like that. You can see a little gold, a little brown in it. It's very nice. And it is a very nice shimmer. All three of those are shimmer, okay? Next, I'm gonna move on to Space Queen. This one also is pretty, in my opinion, a deep, rich green color, okay? Both deep green and sour diesel. So deep green right here and sour diesel right here. They're the matte shades. They're also very deep colors. In my opinion, not being a makeup artist, but I would use these to help line my eyes. I have hooded eyes, and so it's not always easy for me to try to make a winged or a cat eye or any of those things with a liquid eyeliner. So what I'll do is I'll use a black pencil or eyeliner pencil. It could be dark brown, it could be black, it could be, you know, whatever at that time for whatever color or look I'm going for. And then I'll take a very small, very thin, I think I have, actually let me just pull it up here. This is the one I had used earlier. It's a little fluffed out now, but it's very, actually that's a better idea. See how thin that is? And I like to take and use that. So I put the eyeliner on. I like to use a thick, rich eyeliner, you know, and I'll wet this brush and use a deep eyeshadow like one of these two and blend that in. And I find that that's better for me for just feeling more flexible with, you know, not being so nervous about messing up and whatever. And it just, that's my own opinion. But anyway, so, oops, I wiped off the color. Let me try that again. So I'm gonna do, might as well do both of them. Space Queen, swipe. Yes, I am a little heavy-handed. And Sour Diesel. Go. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and put those right there. Has anybody else noticed that with some of the more recent eyeshadow palettes, in particular, I'm gonna just say it with Morphe, some of their eyeshadow palettes, that the colors are so incredibly close, and the colors are so close that it's hard to tell which one is which in the pan. Like I've gotten, it's the one of the 35 series, so it's 35 pans. And some of the colors, they're so close to each other, it's hard to tell what's which. Look at this. I don't have that situation with this eyeshadow. Is that not the most perfect? I really like those. Okay. And again, look at both of those are great for using those as, if that's something that you like to do. It's just something I like to do, to use as a eyeliner to help accentuate your eyes. So those are those two colors. I have to admit, on its own, Sour Diesel is not a very pretty color. I mean, it looks like number 2. And next to it, Black Widow, that looks like something else that, you know. So they're not the prettiest on their own, but they really work out really well if you use them for their purpose. So, okay, so that's that half. Let me go ahead and go on. Again, my fingers are clean again. And I'm gonna go ahead and do these last 3 together, because if you hold them in the light, in certain lights, actually it's kind of hard to tell the difference between these 4 when I hold them sideways and whatnot. But you will definitely notice the difference when I put all of these on my fingers here. Let me make sure my hands are good and dry. So I'm gonna start with Black Widow, Granddaddy, and Gravity OG. Go ahead and do a nice swipe of all 3. Yeah. Okay. Look at that orange in there. When you think of the color gold, in my opinion, this is usually ideal. I think of gold, very metallic. This has a little bit more orange in it. And this again has that brownish, greenish color to it. So I'm gonna actually add a little bit more Black Widow on here, on my finger here. And I'm gonna go ahead and line those up and swipe them on my arm. That is, in my opinion, a very nice palette. I really like it. Okay. My final thoughts on this palette. I do not usually wear bold colors. I usually am out and about in the day. Keep in mind, I'm shooting a YouTube video right now and you can't see, but I've got 3 lights focused right on me. I've got, and 2 of them are bright, they're camera lights. They're lights designed for photography and for video. And then I've got the light overhead. So it kind of washes out the colors on your face whenever you have bright lights on. That's why you see for weddings and for things that you're gonna have photos done, why they cake on so much makeup in artists is because, you know, on theater and our movies is because the lights, it literally washes it out. So I can get away with it in this video. I'm actually keep looking at the camera and then looking at the screen. I'm like, but this is really, these colors and on my face, they're really powerful. It was kind of fun this last time to put this on. I've gotten used to the colors and whatnot and playing with them, but this is not something I could not, in my opinion, with the way that I wear makeup and the places that I go on a regular basis, I couldn't just use this one palette. But hear me out. A lot of people, most people are like, when I get an eyeshadow palette, I want to be able to create a look with just that eyeshadow palette. Usually if you can't, you get a little disappointed and people don't want to use this. But hear me out. These colors are so nice that you actually, I could see using 1 or 2 just alone and getting maybe a look. Or one of these colors in here is so beautiful that even if you have to get another eyeshadow palette to complement maybe more mattes and just use one of the shimmers, or vice versa, use one of these on its own and get shimmers from another one. These are so rich and so pigmented that, in my opinion, on my channel, by the way, my opinion, that I think that it's a good value. I'll also let you know that this is a very heavy palette. It is very heavy. It's about as big as, you know, the Urban Decay. I think there's a magnet on here too. I just realized that too. Yeah, there's definitely a magnet on here. But it's about the size as the Urban Decay Naked eyeshadow palettes. So, you know, they're good pan size. There's only 8 of them on here, and it's about that big. I hold it up to my head, give you an idea of the size of it. So, but it's pretty heavy. It's pretty full. But again, however, if you are someone who is a makeup artist, or you just want different colors of the rainbow, and you feel like you need a green because you've got a lot of green outfits or whatever, you just want that, have that in your toolbox, your tool shed or whatever you call it, to reach for and grab that. Oh, I need a green to highlight this. This to me is a solid, true green palette. It's very smooth. I think it's going to last a long time. Unless you are someone whose favorite color is green, you may very well go through a pan. Again, I've worn this 3 times. No, this is probably my 4th or 5th time. And I dig pretty deep in them, as you can tell. But I think this is a good quality palette. I'm going to have a lot of fun with it during the Green Bay Packers season. I probably won't do like all. I think I have on 1, 2, 3. I have, yikes, wow, girl. I have 4 of the colors on for sure. Mean Green, Space Green, Sour Diesel, Black Widow, and Granddaddy. Wow, I've got 5 of the colors on right now. So I probably won't do that during the season, but I can easily wear 1 or 2 of them with my color jersey. I know there are other teams that have green in them. I'll give you a look at this again because I just think this is a beautiful shade of green. These are just beautiful. So that is the swatching and the review of Smoke Sessions from Melt Cosmetics. It is at this time available on Sephora. And that's it. If you know of any other eyeshadow palettes or anything, please definitely comment below. If you like this video, go ahead, hit that like button. If you didn't like it, you just wasted 27 minutes of your life. Thank you very much. You might as well go ahead and hit that dislike button. If you've made it this far in this video, you might as well go ahead and hit subscribe. What are you waiting for? Bye.